From the creators of the Wife Wednesday Radio Network and Lead Up Studios, this is NerdQuesting with Cena.
Once upon a time in a podcast far, far away, there was a lady who talked a lot about nerdy subjects, and that lady is me. Salutations. I'm Cena from the Wife Wednesday Radio Network, and this is a quest deep into my mind. So I am just going to start with a scene.
Okay.
This week is not a sitting down scene.
Okay.
I just want my listeners, close your eyes and imagine big open field with large dark granite mountains in the background with tall sharp peaks. But in this meadow, this field before you is millions of yellow little happy flowers.
Is this the plot to The Wizard of Oz?
No, but it sounds like it. There's barely a cloud in the sky, but the parts of the sky that has clouds, it's just those wispy little clouds that are way up high with no threat of rain. Just sunshine, just happiness. I want you to live your best Sound of Music. The hills are alive with the Sound of Music moment.
Yes.
Hi, welcome back to NerdQuesting.
Hi.
And this week, I'm gonna bitch.
Yes.
So, first of all, last week, I did not get any kind of D&D in me because I was very sick.
I haven't had D&D in me in like 2-3 weeks.
I had it in me last night. It was fine.
It was terrible.
But I'm feeling better. I still have this residual cough that won't go away, especially if I laugh too hard.
Cena had the plague, for anyone who wanted to know.
Definitely had the plague, but it was not COVID. So
yeah,
don't think
not
it was
COVID
that.
plague, just
Just the regular
plague.
plague where they're like, hey, take Motrin. Sorry, your fever's at 103.5.
Yeah.
Like, stay hydrated. Bye. So, it was actually your idea, Nicole, about this, was talking about just like, I was sick and I was still working on setting up stuff for D&D sessions. I'm hand drawing maps ahead of time because I just, I've gotten feedback, it enriches the play experience for other people.
Yeah.
Which is fine. And then it's already done. So that
you can get on with gameplay.
I can get on with gameplay.
Yeah.
However, it is a lot of time, back of house time. And I don't know how many of our listeners, if we have listeners for this, actually play D&D. And a lot of players, you just show up to the session. And it is so much more work than you would realize, especially if you're doing what I'm doing, where I'm making up my own plot. I have my own story. And let me tell you what, the best laid stories get fucked by players every single time.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, okay, so ignore that cue and we'll just completely ignore all of that and just go straight down. Yeah. Let's go chase after this. Let's go do this instead. Oh, let's find the bar wenches. And sometimes that gets frustrating as a DM because you're like, oh my God, I planned for all this and no one's taking the baits. It's like going fishing and only getting nibbles and never like being able to set the hook.
Yeah.
And I feel like I haven't been able to get across our main story well enough. I'm like afraid of that. But I think it's been pretty straightforward. There's an evil king who is using dark forces.
I don't know what the end game is while getting these pieces. Like, why are we getting these pieces? Like, I get it, but I don't get
the
it.
blessing back of the goddess and ideally stop the demonic forces on the throne.
Okay. So basically the king is like the king of
Yeah, it's like sibling versus sibling right now.
from Lord of the Rings, where the snake guy
Snake guy.
was in his ear, the king's ear, and he was like this.
Oh,
thing.
Theoden.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, except the
morning,
old
people.
king
My brain's
actually
not working.
died.
Yeah.
And so the princess thinks that her brother murdered him.
Mm-hmm.
And cough, cough, obviously. That's what happened.
Yes.
And so she's trying to prove that and bring back the goddess's blessing, because all like the waters are leaving that area, which was a sign of the blessing, which is why she's sending you for these artifacts, because she's hoping to be able to summon the goddess herself back down.
Okay.
That's it. And yeah, that's why you guys are getting the artifacts.
Okay. I can't wait till like the boss level, because I feel like the boss level is going to be like 2 or 3 sessions.
Yeah,
worth.
I might actually need a second DM for like, I might be able to swing it by myself, but I've already talked to another DM and been like, yo, so this is kind of what I'm planning. And I feel like I don't know if I'm going to be able to run 3 battles at the same time, because that's what's going to be happening. And all of those things are going to be like affecting each other. So like Endgame, I've got an idea for it, and I'm just like trying to get us there. But it's like also one of the challenges is almost everyone has ideas on what they want for their characters and what they want to happen and what they want for their characters to do or accomplish. And it's like trying to incorporate all of that. Like this next, I'm actually kind of changing what I was going to do, because I just kind of like want to get it moving.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like I'm going for another character arc. Like someone's backstory is going to be pulled up, and then like for me, I see things as like it's going to be like a series of bullet points that have to happen.
Yeah.
And then I have to guide you guys through that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, with certain characters that I'm trying to do backstory for, or not even just backstory, just like incorporate like their story into it. Some people have a lot that they want to incorporate.
Yes.
And that's fine. But I'm like, oh my God, I'm not going to have time for this, which is why I'm like kind of like changing what I was originally going to do.
Are we thinking about the same person?
Yes. And I think one of the other challenges...
Mine will not take that long.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's like, and I'm trying to like keep some stuff like, all right, this session's going to be kind of like your thing. This session's going to be, you know, like travel. Travel is one of the hardest things you're going to have to do.
Mine is done while traveling, so.
Yes, yours is a twofer.
Yeah.
But keeping travel entertaining, you know, like I have
that old man, I was sus of him the whole time. I was like,
I know you were. I know you were.
Like, what's gonna happen? Are you gonna turn into something? Like, what's happening?
Listen,
I was sus the whole time for no reason.
I have a secret that I want to tell you about that.
What?
I can't on the show in case Therese listens and other people listen.
Okay.
Because it's like meta knowledge.
But like, is it still relevant?
To the old man, yes.
Oh, fuck. You can't tell me.
I know, but I want to tell you.
Thank God Mike doesn't listen.
Oh my God, right?
We would be in so much trouble.
Well, see, okay. I love Mike, but that's one of my challenges I'm facing.
Is Mike?
Yes. So he gets diehard about the rules a little bit, a little dick hard about it.
But then says, well, you're the DM. You can make your own decision. But then it's then gets crazy.
Yeah, then kind of gets you know, like I'm either the DM and what I say goes, or like sometimes I'm like, if it's not what you want, then you argue with me.
Yeah.
And that's like sometimes a problem.
And sometimes you just need to be like, I'm the DM. This is what I rule.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
And then it's like, I feel like he thinks my campaign sucks.
No, totally. I think he enjoys your campaign.
Good. Like, I'm definitely super insecure about that because, you know, like, he stays behind and talks for a while. And then he's like, well, you know, you could do a pre-made campaign for your next one. And I feel like he keeps suggesting this. And I'm like,
I think it's just because he has one that he wants to do.
I also agree.
Yes.
And I hope it's not because I'm a shitty DM.
No, but if you do a pre-made one next, I would totally suggest putting your own spin on things, though. Because, like, the one time that I did Adric's campaign, I was like, we are so to the book, it's boring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be like this.
Now, the one I would want to run with you guys, and it's like, I feel like I wouldn't want to run it so much with Adric and Mike, but just some of the other ones, that Curse of Strahd game.
Yeah.
That one is definitely very story heavy. It's dark. It's fun. I mean, it's a top rated one.
The character I make is going to be a fighter, but vampire.
Love it. I am in that Curse of Strahd. I am a Dompier, which means I'm half vampire.
Yeah.
And I'm a sorceress.
Uh-huh.
And I just learned Fireball. And I'm very excited about that.
I saw your snap from last night.
And I use Fireball.
Yeah.
But, so this happened last night when we were actually at Corey's for a D&D session.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about people speaking over me.
Yes.
And we were literally in combat, and I'm trying to read the exact wording of this spell. And almost every single man there, except for my husband, was speaking over me. And I tried to read this like 4 times.
Yeah.
I was livid. I'm like, stop speaking over me.
I don't know Corey, but I know your brother.
Well, my brother's the loudest man alive.
Yeah.
And I just kind of I got pissy about that. And listen to my notes that I just wrote here. One of the biggest problems I face is men speaking over me. Is it because I'm a woman? Is it because they don't respect me in a position of power and see that they don't have to respect me?
She was feeling something.
I was in my feelings. Which is probably a bad place to be, you know.
No,
I'm medicated for those feelings.
But you also are the only female in that group.
Correct.
In that campaign.
Correct.
So I think you just need to put on your big girl panties and be louder than the group. Because you can be. We talked about this in one of our podcasts about how you guys tell me to stop. Nicole, stop. We want to look at something. Instead of being like, bitch, stop. I want to fucking look at this table.
I'm just going to like record you saying bitch, stop. And I'll have it on like a life alert thing. Yes. But it's actually a speaker.
Yes. One of those buttons that they teach dogs.
Yes.
New words.
Yes.
Bitch, stop.
Bitch, stop. That's exactly
how fun
what
would
I
that
need.
be to incorporate those into D&D?
Listen, my eventual
for a daddy.
Yes,
because there are times when you need to tell people to shut up and get on with it.
Yeah,
you know,
my eventual goal is Andrew and I keep talking about taking that little TV and mounting it up above my dry erase board.
Yes,
and then so, ideally,
yeah,
I will have my iPad that I want by then.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can like
connect it
using whatever technology things I need. I'm sure there's a man somewhere that'll tell me what I need for that. But that way I can put up my scenery pictures or my people pictures, be like, hey, this is the person you're talking to, yada, yada, yada. Just tools to help make my life a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Daddy is done whining now, and that is me, the DM daddy. I know I just bitched for a solid 15 minutes about this. I do love D&D.
Yeah.
I kind of want to play with an all-girl group at some point and just see what the dynamic is for that. Mm-hmm. I feel like we wouldn't be shouting over each other as much.
Yeah.
So I have gotten back into reading again, and I am reading this book, and I need to pull up the author's name. It is called The Demon Lover by Juliet Dark, and it's apparently a whole series, and it's very grown up, but then like it's definitely all about this magic town, and like the main character I thought was a little pretentious at first, but it's definitely exactly what it says in the she's being haunted by a succubus or succubi.
Okay.
And she's definitely getting dream fucked every single night, and this thing is feeding on her. And then there's like a great cast of characters, and I'm wondering if this whole series is going to be her or if it's just going to be the different female, like the female leads that you meet, like the different characters you're meeting, and it's like, oh, now it's their turn to find their demon lover. So if I finish this book, I'll update it. Or if I finish the series.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to finish this off with just a little nerdy obsession. I woke up yesterday thinking about Tetris.
Oh, yeah.
I have been obsessed for the last 24 hours, like draining my phone battery playing Tetris. So, listeners, I didn't even look at your nails. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. I get them redone this week.
I just haven't seen you.
I know.
They're gorgeous, Kaylee. Oh my God. Quit outdoing yourself. Literally, every time. Yes. But yeah, listeners, anyone who's a DM, do you got some player handling tips? Any storytelling tips to tell me? And anyone got any games they're obsessing over? Because clearly that's my ish right now. I think that's it for this week.
Go forth on your quest.
Go forth on your quest. Session over.
You've been listening to NerdQuest, a Wife Wednesday Radio Network production. Our executive producer is Dustin from the Lead Up Studios team in St. Louis, Missouri. Be sure to like, follow, and share us with your friends on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and more by searching Wife Wednesday. You can find NerdQuesting on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and more.